Obligatory podcast intro.
Hi, hello, and welcome. This is Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. I'm Matt with my co-host Adam, and this show is where we take all 39 letters of the alphabet, we put them in a mortar, we each draw a letter, and then pick a comic that begins with that letter. I don't know his, he does not know mine. Spoilers ahead for these two comics.
And just pretty much anything in general.
And yeah, anything we might get into.
Yeah, we're not worried about spoilers.
Normally it's like 40-year-old movies we spoil or something.
Very true. Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
We haven't been to the theater in so long.
The newest movie I saw was Borderlands and Long Legs.
Oh, you went and saw those?
And Deadpool with you.
Oh, we did go see Deadpool.
No, I bootlegged them, bro. You think I went paid for them bullshit ass
You
movies?
wouldn't steal a car, would you?
I would, but I would also steal a movie for sure.
I'd steal all that shit, bro.
Yeah. Depends on how hard it is to steal, bro. That's about it.
All right, so if you want to support us so we don't continue to steal, you can find us on Instagram at Flipping Pages 24.
I do it for the thrills.
If you feel like it, come by and say what's up to us. All right, so I got H.
I
And
got Z, but I thought I had X, and you corrected me.
He did. He called me. He was like, got my X comic?
I read
was
the
like,
whole thing. I had to switch to Z and find something else.
I was like, I didn't want to make you mad either. I was like, I think it's Z, bro. I'm pretty sure you got Z.
Yeah,
And then it took you a second. You were like, yeah, I think you're right.
I think you're right.
But I've done that a rack of times.
Yeah.
So
more than me, actually.
yeah,
so,
quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty dumb.
True.
So yeah, I got H. I found this one. It's called Huck. It's an Image comic.
Okay.
It's some new guy, Mark Millar.
Okay.
Is that how you really say it? Is
Mark
it Millar?
Miller?
It's Mark Miller.
Is it an E or an A?
It's the A.
Oh, that's Millar or whatever.
It is Millar.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
not
so-
Mark Miller, the famous guy.
No, but this guy does a bunch of cool shit. The
Yeah,
Miller verse
different-
is pretty awesome.
Millar. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Millar verse.
Yeah.
Does not roll off the tongue.
No, it's terrible. He should have changed
He
it.
did Jupiter's Legacy, Jupiter's Circle. There was a bunch of them he did. I think I took a picture of them.
I know I've read him before.
Wanted. He did Wanted.
Of course.
That's his stuff. Yeah, he did a rack of cool stuff. So
Yeah, no, he did.
I know Mark Miller and Mark Millar were two different people.
Yes, but they're both very
I didn't know you
popular.
said Millar, though. I assumed you did, but
Yeah.
I like Mark Millar a lot.
Yeah.
So what, Miller is Sin City, that shit? What?
Batman, right?
Yeah, this dude, see, that's confusing because he
He
did...
does all of... Yeah, it's a small ecosystem.
Oh, no, not Millar. Sorry. It was the artist, Raphael Albuquerque.
Did Batman.
He did all the New 52 stuff we read.
Oh,
the City
damn.
of Owls and shit.
Yeah.
That was him.
I like that art.
Yeah, he's cool. He also... what was the other one I did? 8.
He did that one?
He did that one.
The whole thing?
The art, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that whole color-coded, that was him, which is really cool. So writer, Mark Millar, artist, Raphael Albuquerque. Colorist is Dave McCaig.
McCaig.
Dave
probably.
McCaig.
Probably.
And then that Picos dude, Nate Picos of Blambot, lettering and design. We've come across his, and I always say it because it says of Blambot. I've never
didn't
bothered to look
into
up
it.
what
Yeah,
Blambot is.
that's funny.
And editor is Nicole Boos. I just wanted to say Boos. I
Boost.
saw that. So it came out in 2015. So Huck, that's the main character's name. It starts with this dude. He's wearing like overalls and boots, and got a sweet American boy face and blonde hair. He looks like to be in his 20s, but he's like running extremely fast. He's jumping on top of cars, and then he jumps off a mountain and dives into the water. So
Damn.
definitely fast and strong, we can assume right here. So he goes digging around. He picks up something that's shining. It cuts to these two characters. Now, this old woman, I really, truly did not catch her name in this. So the other girl is Diane. She's just important for a few things, but her name is Diane. So Diane's like, hey, that necklace I lost, it showed up on my doorstep. And the old lady's like, all right, we need to talk about Huck. They're like, listen, he was left on the doorstep of an orphanage. The nuns or the people there raised him to do good deeds every day. So this is what he does. He's super strong. He's super fast. He delivered a Christmas card to California for someone. I seen him pull a truck out of the river. And Diane's like, well, that's crazy. Like, he has powers and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, listen, this town's a small town. Maine, Vermont, one of those picturesque New England towns or
Right.
states up there. One of them. I don't know which one it was. But she was like, this is incredible. And the old lady's like, yeah, it's incredible, but it's our little town secret. He's a sweetheart. People think he's slow. And he's like, he's not slow. He's just, like, he thinks a lot.
Focused.
And yeah, he's just a man of few words, you know? So he's sweet. He does good deeds every day. And, like, this dude is, like, pulling tree stumps out of the ground for people. He woke up super early and picked up everyone's trash. He went and cleared space in someone's new barn, and he bought lunch for everyone in line behind him at drive-thru. These people are like, Huck, get out of the way. We're trying to get some food, man. And he's like, pay for everyone behind me. Just a super sweet dude, and does not do it for publicity at all. So this Diane chick's driving around, and she almost runs into him. So she goes back to the old lady, and she's like, I think there's something wrong with Huck. I saw him walking around in the middle of the night with no shoes, and he was soaking wet. And she holds up a newspaper, and it says, missing fisherman safe and well.
Nice.
So it shows up. Nah, I won't tell you now. So this dude, super simple guy, and he sits in his bed, and he's always holding this note. It's a envelope, right? Presume the envelope he was left with. And it showed a little shot of him as a baby. And it just says, please love him. So that's the note that showed up with him as a baby.
Yeah.
He's sitting there looking at the note, and he's got a book open, and he sees that in North Africa, over 200 schoolgirls were kidnapped. So it straight up cuts to these dudes in North Africa, and they're like, oh, this crying. They're like, shut them up. He's like, listen, y'all don't have to go to school anymore. You're all going to make great wives. Just chill out, okay? And then they hear a noise, and he's like, what is that? And Huck just walks up, and he grabs his gun and just, like, crushes it
Mushes
in his
it
hand.
in his hand. That's dope.
And he's like, take your glasses off. And the guy's like, what? And he's like, take your glasses off. Dude takes his glasses off, and then he just uppercuts him into a giant pile of dudes that he already beat up.
Nice.
So he just tells the kids, like, hey, listen, I brought a bunch of candy. You got to do me a favor. You find out, it's like, don't tell anyone I was here. So they interview the girls, because like 200 girls come running out of the forest.
That's
and everyone's
awesome.
like, was this special forces? Was it another guerrilla unit? Like, what happened? And they're like, we can't tell you.
Yeah.
So they all kept their word. They're like, sorry,
Nice. Hell
I made a
yeah.
promise. So Diane is watching it with her little nerdy ass boyfriend. And she's like, that's him. I'm telling you, that was Huck. And the boyfriend's like, think we can make some money off of this? So I think that is like the end of the first comic. So when the next comic starts, he wakes up and outside is just a bunch of reporters everywhere in his
Shit.
front lawn.
Outside of Huck's place?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
And Diane lives right across the street, like right across. So that old lady lives there. I think maybe it's a house with multiple people. They never clarify. Like, he's a gas station attendant, so I don't know if he's paying for that house. He could live with that old lady, which they never say where she's
don't
from.
clarify it.
They talk about like their family, and they show it. Like, everyone loves Huck. They're like, this dude's awesome. If you lose some shit, he'll go find it.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Obviously.
So everyone's like, yeah, they're super close with him. They keep his secret safe until this bitch shows up. And then her bitch boyfriend, that bitch does this. So, yeah. So anyway, it cuts to Siberia in 1981. There's this redheaded girl in just a hospital gown out in the middle of the snow. And this dude, his name is General Orlov. That dude's important. But he's sitting here and he goes, what is Commander Veselov holding in his hand? And the redheaded girl goes, a picture of a nesting doll on a postcard from his mother. A mile below the water line is a submarine and a dude holding
it?
a picture
Aw.
of that. So Orlov's like, well done. And she smiles. She's like, thank you. So she has this little ankle bracelet on and just like a straight up ankle monitor.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Vermont this morning, present time. And we can assume it's the same woman. It's the redheaded girl. And she is watching them talk about Huck. He's known locally as Huck, and apparently he has superpowers, and he does everything to help people, and neighbors have been here all morning trying to get help, blah, 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 reporting on the news, right?
Right.
This little boy walks up. He's like, hey, you look kind of shook. Like, are we still doing violin lessons?
Huh.
She looks down at him, puts her hand on his head, and she says, not right now. I'm just going to need you to sleep. And the boy passes out. And so she's sitting there holding the boy, watching the news. So now the old lady that Huck lived with is like pissed off. She's like, get all these people out of here. What the hell's going on? And freedom of press. They're allowed to be here. Blah, blah, blah. How's Huck doing? He's just sitting on the floor putting together this like toy airplane for a little kid.
Nice.
Kid couldn't put it together. Huck's like, I got you.
That's awesome.
He's so cool. But he looks on the news. They're like, we need to get him to North Dakota, and we can I have a niece that lives there. He can disappear up there. And she's like, look outside. There's no way. Like, they're not going to go away anytime soon.
Right.
So he looks at the TV, and he sees a woman crying, holding a picture. So he's like, I got to get out there. So he goes out there, and they just start hounding him and stuff. So she comes up, and she's like, my husband's missing. He disappeared 8 years ago. So 4 people come up to him, begging him to help. A missing husband, a missing daughter who might have been caught up in some drugs, a missing brother who got kidnapped in Afghanistan, and then a missing dog. So he's like, yeah, I got you. Let's go. So the news reporter says, so your powers let you track stuff down? And he says, pretty much. So first inkling of something else he has. He's super strong, super fast, durable as hell, but he also has this added power of, if he sees a picture, I'll just tell you now, if he sees a picture or he knows someone's name, he can find them.
Wow.
He's like, what's your husband's name? Oh, it's blah, blah, blah. He's already like, okay.
Damn, that's super
What's your dog's name? Gizmo. Okay. And he made the list, and he's like, all right, I'm going right now. So he's like walking away, and the news reporter's like, hey, come back, blah, blah, blah. He fucking bolts.
So he just runs. That's what I was going to ask.
He can't fly. I thought because the first shot was he jumped off the mountain.
Yeah.
It looked like he was flying, but it wasn't horizontal shot. It was vertical.
He's going that way.
So he was going down, not straight or forward. So, but he's jumped. It's like a OG Hulk. Or OG Superman, sorry.
Yeah.
Just super ridiculously
that's
strong.
Hulk too.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Just jumping.
The Hulk all the time.
Yeah, he never could fly. I'm an idiot.
He jumps fucking across the earth, though.
So, yeah, I guess it would be like them. OG Superman is what I meant.
Yeah.
And Hulk. So it cuts to the town people. They're all pissed. They're like, you know what? Fuck that Diane bitch.
Yeah,
for real.
right.
She ruined everything. So Huck's jumping off of cars. He deuced out. He's gone. The news reporter's like, holy shit, did you see what he did? The cops couldn't keep up with him. We got a helicopter chasing him. So this dude's watching the news. They go, it looks like Huck's headed for New Hampshire. And this dude's like, oh shit. He's like, listen, get the babies. Let's get the hell out of here. She's like, what's going on? He's like, I wasn't entirely honest with you when we got together. And the doorbell rings, and it's Huck. And he's like, are you Mr. Lindum? So this is the missing husband who disappeared. He just went and lived with another family. And he was like, oh, shit. So he's in trouble with both his women. Cuts to this dude in Afghanistan about to get his head chopped off. Huck just jumps in front of the truck, picks it up, like shakes people out, and then slams it on the ground. He grabs the dude in the air, and he's like, yeah, I wasn't going to let anyone hurt you. He's like, hold up, let me go check on those dudes, though. He goes down. He's like, all right, they're alive. Let's go. So they get out of there. He's like, I'm going to get you on an airplane. So they're covering all this on the news. And someone says, are you watching this, Professor Orlov? And Professor Orlov, bald with a beard, he says, very carefully. So, and then there shows 2 other dudes in a bar in North Carolina. And they're like, oh, what's his name? Tom. Hey, Tom, what's wrong? And he's like, I just saw someone I've been looking for my whole life. And he points to Huck, and he's like, that's my brother. So now Huck is going to look for the daughter who got hooked on drugs. Straight up walks into a crack house, finds her, because he knows exactly where she is. He picks her up, and these dudes are like, hey, asshole. He's like, this girl needs medical attention, man. I got to get her help. And he's like, that's my girlfriend. He's like, well, you don't really respect her. Blah, blah, blah. And then he pulls out a gun. He's like, you don't want to talk about respect? He straight up just one kicks 3 dudes and a couch out the window.
That's dope.
They're fine, but he just rolls out. He's just like, got the girl. Let's go. And now he's lifting a stone on a mountainside trying to get this dog. So he finds it. He crosses the last one off his list. And now, so it's 1 month later. The whole public knows about him. The reporters have died down, but he's popular now. People love him. They're like, he's the good Samaritan, which Samaritan was the tribe of the dude that stopped to help. Samaritan doesn't mean like a nice guy. It may now based off context, but it really bothers me because it's just another tribe.
Right.
That dude was a good tribe member that hated the guy he helped. Like they
right.
beefed.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not like that's a good just dude all around. He was a Samaritan.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Specific.
Yeah, I remember hearing that and thought that was interesting because we use it as, a good Samaritan helped us.
Huh.
It'd be a good American, technically, or, a good, Englishman or something. It's not Samaritan. That's
Right.
the context it would be used as. But anyway, 1 month later, the old lady who's like, oh, this is scary. The government got his hooks in him. He's taken around. They're throwing him a big party. Why did they invite all his friends? So he's now at the governor's palace or wherever the fuck it is, governor's mansion.
Yeah.
Big old party. This lady's like, put on the tuxedo. You got to look good. And he's like, why can't I just wear my overalls? Which he hasn't changed out of. They're super dope. The sleeves are rolled up. It says 28 and it says gas on the back or something.
Nice.
Super sick.
Oh,
I might
he works at a
gas station. I might cosplay as this dude one year.
Right.
Just some dope
Make
ass
sure
overalls.
nobody knows who you're supposed to
That's
be.
if I do the guy from Moving Fortress and
You
then
talked
this,
about that.
no
too.
one will have
No
any-
one would ever.
I'm just gonna find the most obscure shit. So
if you found somebody that called you and was like, "Oh, you're that guy," you better fucking be best friends with that person.
that would be
forever.
incredible. Well, I just heard it on this podcast.
Yeah.
These dudes cover comic books, like real obscure ones. Oh yeah, what's it called? That would be cool. So anyway, this lady's like, try on the tux. The shit's getting ready in an hour. Hurry up, get ready. He peeks out the window. He's like, has anyone checked on those cats? They're eating garbage. She's like, Huck, the cats are fine. Just put on the suit. And he's like, all right. So the governor and his little dude that he's with are like, is he really that slow? They're saying retard. But they call him that quite a few times.
Yeah.
He's like, he's not slow. He's just quiet and chill and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I can't believe one of your constituents is a superhero. This is going to win you the election. And he's like, oh, me and the president have plans for this guy, blah, blah, blah. So he walks down the stairs. They start making fun of him because he looks ridiculous in the suit.
Right.
He's like, who are all these people? They were people he helped, reporters, journalists, all that. So everyone kind of starts bombarding him. This one chick is like, thank you for building my kitchen. He's like, no problem, Miss Ho. And then the dude comes up. He's like, hey, I'm with VH1. I want to talk to you about a reality show. And Huck is like, no, thank you, sir. And then the general walked up and he's like, hey, saw what you did in Afghanistan. Me and the president going to have an audience with you and work out a more formal arrangement. You're basically going to be our super soldier to go fuck shit up. And he was like, yeah, I don't know much about politics. So, like, real quick, you can see his face. He's like super sweet, innocent guy.
Oh yeah.
Like blonde-haired, blue-eye dude next door type guy. He's just really big and strong. And then a chick hits on him. She's like, hey, I'm staying in the same building. Here's my room key. And he kind of loses it. He gets taken away to take this, like, picture for the governor. He's like lifting all his campaign members up on weights.
Oh,
and it says strong for 4 more years, strong for the next 4 years, shit like that. So he's like, I don't like any of this. He's upstairs and he looks outside to the cats. He orders all the fish and chicken dinners, gives a bunch to the cats. He finds 2 homeless guys and they're like, can we have some? He's like, oh, bro, take my room key.
Yeah.
Room
nice.
services on them. Go have yourself a good time. They're like, where are you going? He's like, I'm going home. Takes off running. So he's jumping on trains. He lands on a train. He's chilling. He makes a comment about, oh, they give fancy pens out at this hotel. I love it. Super simple dude. And this guy's on the train behind him. And he's like, hey, Huck. And he turns around. Who are you? And I'm your brother. Let's go see mom. And they give each other a hug. So it now cuts to who we can presume is mom. And it's the redheaded woman in Siberia in 1981. She is pregnant, hospital gown, with the ankle monitor on, just trucking it through the snow faster than fucking snowmobiles, dude. She is a beast. So when she gets around this little ledge, there's a bunch of dudes with guns, and they're like, stop right there. She, like, reaches into the ground and just lifts it up, and
shit.
Dudes are flying everywhere. There's, like, all over the place.
Oh, damn.
So she really messes some shit up. She jumps in the water, takes off. They made right here. Target moving west at 75 to 80 knots. That's 92 miles an hour. I looked it up.
Holy shit.
92 miles an hour. Dude, 30 miles an hour on a boat is fucking insane.
It feels like you're going a million miles
so
an
much
hour.
faster.
Yeah.
She's down there like fucking Aquaman. Like, how fast do submarines go?
God, 20 knots?
Really? That's fucking insane. That's like a missile, bro. That's insane.
No, 20 knots would be 60 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, something like that. Because 80 is 90 something miles an hour.
Oh,
75 is 92 miles an hour, something like that. That's insane, though.
Right.
So they find her little ankle monitor, and they're like, she's gone. So it's cuts to, Maine, present time, which I guess is where the town is now that I noticed that. It's Maine.
Okay.
Talking to the hottest girl in town and the old lady that's basically his mom. And he's telling her, like, she was 16 when the Soviets found her in the village. There was a race to find the super soldier between Russia and America, and Russia found her. Basically started doing experiments, trying to clone her, trying to make another person like her. Then they realized, let's just make her have a baby, and then we can have the boys fertilize just army of super soldiers. Yeah. So let's do that. And then she was totally chill with it all until like she noticed the twins. So she was like, as soon as I felt the twins, or the Tom brother, Tom is telling this. He said, as soon as she felt the twins, she was like, it's not just me in the cell. I got to get out of here. So she goes up to Dr. Orlov, who has a crush on her. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I fantasized about this so much. So she touches him and says, open every door in the complex. And he just backs up and turns the switch off. So I'll just tell you now, if she touches you, she could make you do anything.
Oh, damn.
So she made him turn the switch off. So now she's just wrecking shop. She's just like slamming dudes' faces into concrete. They're shooting. She's running through them, dodging them.
Nice.
Jumps out of a concrete wall. And they're like, how did she get over here? They're like, she swam from fucking Russia, which I'm guessing to Alaska, possibly, and made her way down. And you know how fast Huck moves. This is his mom, so she's probably jumping on all that shit, doing the same thing.
That's dope.
So she probably got through Canada in a little while, So she's in America. She gives birth to the babies. They give Tom to some church people in North Carolina, and Huck goes to Maine. So
they separated him.
Yeah. So he tells him, like, hey, I thought maybe you could track her. And he's like, no, I need a photo or a name. And he's like, oh, shit. Well, her name's Anna Polina Mariana Kozar. He's like, is that good enough for you? So everyone loves Huck. They're like, hey, listen, you can't run across rooftops the whole way there. Take my giant semi-truck.
All right.
They're like, just be careful with it. Y'all have fun. He's telling everyone bye. The brother makes a comment about, dude, that Zoe chick, the hottest girl in town, she's totally in love with you. And he's like, nah, I'm just a simple guy.
Man.
She likes the cool guy. They're like, dude, you're a superhero. You are the cool guy.
You are wrong.
Like, dude, hit that as soon as you get home. So they're on their way going to Vermont, and like they stop with 3 emergencies. They stop at a burning building, help everyone. They help a overturned circus truck bring back a giraffe, and it looks like a bear. They're just both holding a giraffe and a bear. And then the third emergency is he's stopping traffic so ducks could cross.
Nice.
And Tom is just like, dude, you're fucking something special. Like, seriously, you're going to be amazing. Like, people are going to love you. Like, this is why you're special, man. And he's talking about, hope she's not disappointed. He's like, nah, dude, you're great. This is going to be the happiest day of her life. And he's like, let's go see our mom, man. I'm finally not alone anymore. So she knocks on the door. Mom opens it, and he's like, it's your boys. And she makes this face, and he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, I only had one son. And then Tom just blasts like this weird yellow energy that comes out of his hand. He blasts him in the side, and then he blasts Mom away. And then he says, Dr. Orlov, you can come out now. So this piece of shit is here, and he's like, you thought I wouldn't find you? I found you. You're mine again. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Round up everyone. Let's get the fuck out of here. So they roll back to Siberia to his fucking secret lab. It has a name, Nakograd or something like that. It had a cool name. It was like City 63, Science City 63 or something like that.
Nice.
Apparently in the world there's a bunch of them throughout Russia. But there's a bunch that are like secret and no one knows about. And his is like the top secret one.
Right.
So what he says is we were trying to build a super soldier with genetics and blood and all that. When our golden goose left, when, what was her name? Anna.
Redhead.
Yeah, redhead mom. When Anna left, they were like, we lost everything. So we switched to artificial intelligence. Have you met 15 and 16? So 15 is the giant dude that was Tom. And 16 is this girl skimpy clothes with pigtails. She looks very young, but they're both robots. So he starts talking about they don't actually work very well though. They stop after 15 months. So we only had 15 months to find you.
God damn.
And it costs us so much money to run these two machines. So they're like, he's been getting a lot of shit for this program, but he's like, shit, now that you're back, the mom's like, what are you going to do to us? And he says, I'm just going to dissect you. This guy's going to fertilize the fucking army for me, bro. So let's get to work. They put him in this glass cage where they're like, listen, the glass held your mom for 5 years. You're not getting through there.
Right.
He's trying to bust it. They basically call him slow and stupid. And they're like, what did he do? And he's like, he's a gas station attendant. He's like, can't believe I ever fell for this peasant woman. So then this bureaucrat shows up, and Orlov is pissed because he's like, I had to beg you for extensions, and I told you my robots would I fucking told you, you asshole. He's like, hold up. I actually got a meeting with your superiors now. It's the Kremlin. It's everyone. Generals, the president, and it's Putin. There's no, like, secret or made-up character. It's straight up Putin. And so they're like, hey, the president's super excited about your dinner with them tonight. And he's like, yeah, cool. Can I still have my bonus? And they're like, absolutely. So he gets a gun, he turns around, he shoots that dude right in the head. He's like, you made me beg for extensions. I told you this would work, and blasts him.
Nice.
So Orlov is like, let's get this going. It's time to work. We got them both here. So he's actually says something about, I'm not in a rush at all. Like, I'll build these thugs, their freaking army, where their loyalties will really lie will be with me.
Right.
So he's planning on building an army and then just turning it on. Some Order 66 shit.
Yeah.
So it's Tom now, or 15, talking to Huck, and he's like reaching around the glass. He's like, oh, you looking for a weak spot? Oh, yeah, that's your power. You find things. Your mother can control when she touches. It's an empath, and then he finds stuff. So he's like looking for a weak spot on the glass. He's talking shit to him, calling his mom like, oh, it's all her fault, all this happened. And Huck's like, no, man, I lived a great life, and if it wasn't for you, I would have been here the whole time, blah, 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 right? Some super sweet shit mom needed to hear. So he's like, dude, you're about to have a harem. Like, you're just going to be getting everyone pregnant. It's going to be awesome. And he's like, oh, shit, I just figured out how to get out of here. And he's like, Mom, tell me to break the wall. So he's like, you're not strong enough. And he's like, but if she tells me to, I might be able to do it. So it's showing Orlov and 16, the girl, they're just walking around, and they just a big boom. He's like, what the hell is that? It says 500 miles away. Those guys, their little coffee cups are rippling.
Oh, damn.
So they're like, what is that? So like, go find out what that is. It cuts to Huck, and the mom, Anna's like, your hands, like your poor hands. And he's like, one more time. And he does it, and he actually busts through.
God damn.
And the robot goes flying. He bursts through the wall. It's super sick looking.
Oh, that's dope.
It's dope. So, let's see. Orlov's telling everyone to go check it out. And 16, the girl, or 15, no, that's 16. 16, the girl's like, I got this. Get him on a truck and get him out of town. Like, you need to get him out of here, Orlov.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, I'll take care of this. So you actually see what she sees, and it's like the Predator vision with like tracking, kind of like Terminator, basically. Right. So she throws something and makes it explode. It's a big fight between 16 and the mom, and then 15 and Huck.
Okay.
So they're kind of getting pieced up pretty bad. It cuts to Orlov, who's riding around on like a trash truck. He's like, why are we in this? They're like, it's discreet. We got to get you out of here, blah, blah, blah. So it cuts back to everyone fighting. And now Huck and Tom are going at it, but the 16 starts hurting his mom. And 16 or 15's about to punch, or Tom is about to punch Huck, and he like grabs his hand and just like crushes it. Nice. And he's like, tell her to stop hurting my mom. So it cuts to like outside the door, a bunch of soldiers. They're like, we're going to gas them. Get in there. Let's do this. When they open the door, it's it says 28 gas station on his back with little angel wings. That's cool. I didn't have a picture of it before. Yeah, but anyway, they bust in the room and see that it's Huck and his mom standing on top of the robots with like their faces ripped off.
Yeah, they fucked them up.
Their insides are sparky. Like, yeah, they fucked them up. It's awesome. So he looks at all the dudes and he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
And they're like, stand down. They run away. He's like, good move. So they're walking in the street, and the mom's like, how are we going to find Orlov? This is ridiculous. He's like, oh, I got it. He rips a lamppost out of the ground and just chunks it. And then it hits the truck, like it lands in front of the truck, and then they crash. And they fucking all the way over there. They pull him out, and the mom walks up, and she's like, tell me how to delete everything. And he's like, oh, they're going to my backup computer. And she's like, you can't lie. Is there any other place off base that you keep them? And he's like, yeah, there's a whole backup file drive. And she's like, is there a code to destroy all of it at once, backups and all? And he says, he just says her name. There's explosions everywhere. This dumbass, he starts talking shit. He's like, it's all up here. He's like, I'll have you back in those cages again. She's like, oh, okay. She goes up to him. She goes, forget everything you know about science. Oh, nice. He just goes blank, blank face. And so he's got nothing there. Like, he's not even reacting to people like, hey, doctor, let's go. Professor.
Nice.
He's just staring in space. So now mom and Todd, they're like, we got a long walk. And he's like, well, we got a lot to catch up on, blah, blah, blah. He realizes that he's fell behind on his notes and lists. Oh. His good deeds of the day. Yeah. So he goes and gives Zoe flowers. He finds his mom's kitten. He goes and moves his mom to Maine where he lives. Nice. And it shows the violin kid, and he's like, I'm nervous about my recital. And she's like, you're going to play better than you ever have before. I insist. And the kid, like, she used her power. Yeah. And he walks off like, oh, hell yeah.
That's dope.
So she's like, don't tell anyone. So they basically start like a little business in Maine, happy to help. They want people to just show up to ask Huck to help. Right. Because it's not like he has to do any detective work. No. The fool just, what's your mom's name? Goes. Okay, let's go.
That's dope.
So they start talking shit about Diane again, and they're like, she put her house up for sale. She's on the way out. And he's like, hold up. He runs and gets more flowers and brings it to her. And he's like, no hard feelings. So last bit of this is a dude pulling up to a gas station. He's like, cold today, hey, comrade. Oh, it's not so bad if you stamp your feet. And he's like, well, fill her up. We're going on a long ride. And yeah, that's Professor Orlov.
Yeah, of course.
So he is just a dumb gas station attendant now, just like Huck. Tables turn. So I don't want to say this is one of the best ones I've ever read or one of my favorites, even though it is. You know what I would say, though? If anyone wants to start a comic, if like, where do I would, that one.
Really?
Start with that one. It was so simple, straightforward. Yeah. Nothing obscure, crazy, convoluted. It was so great and just like, yeah, it was a good read, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it seemed dope.
It was a cool story. I like his character. Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. I like the simplicity too.
Very
genuinely
simple.
Like that.
That's. Yeah. I think that's what I was trying to say. Is a super simple story. No crazy continuity to remember. It was great. So that's awesome. If you've never read a comic and you're like, I think I want to read one, I would say go read Huck.
Right.
From Mark Millar.
Mark Millar.
But yeah, Albuquerque, the art was great. The faces were good. I guess I saw some faces. Oh, this is our segment, How Are the Faces? But I saw some faces that I was like, ugh.
Oh, yeah.
But not like, oh, it's drawn gross. He made it look that way.
Oh, they were supposed to be gross.
Yeah, so like when mom was like beat up and haggard and tired, but she made this smile when he was like, all right, you touch me and tell me to break the wall. And she was like, oh. But just the depiction of how rough she was having, how rough a time she was, I was like, oh, man. Yeah. It was impactful, I guess.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, the faces were great. He looked just like a sweet
His face
American
that's
boy.
One of the only faces I saw, but it was good.
Yeah, and they were all good. Tom was like this big trucker dude. Orlov was this bald Russian guy who grew up in the snow in Russia.
All right.
So, but yeah, no, it was great. The faces were great.
Cool.
It was a cool comic, cool art, great story, super simple, like you said. Yeah. The fight scenes were cool. Yeah. The fact that he was so strong, and then he wouldn't kill anyone, which I thought was dope, except the robots, which I think they were still moving at the end, so he probably didn't even kill them. Probably
they're
did.
They're gonna die after 15 months.
They're dead anyway. And he actually appealed to that, and Tom was like, "No, dude, I care about death as much as like a toaster cares about being unplugged. Like it means nothing to me."
Yeah, true.
So then he's like, "All right, I need to find a way to break out of here." But yeah, cool little comic, man.
Hell yeah, that's
10 thumbs up for sure.
Sounds good. So yeah, like I said earlier, I got Z. I did read through an entire X one, so I want to just mention that because I don't think I'll ever actually do it. It was the comic book X, the character X. He just has a big red X on his face.
Is that the dude
He's
with the dog collar?
Yeah, he looks like a gimp. He looks like a gimp.
We were like, oh, this dude looks so cool. And then we saw the little lock around his neck. We were like,
so that's the later one.
That's a little
saucy,
so
his first one, it did have like a collar type thing, but it did not look like a lock dog.
He always had a collar.
Something, he really did.
Because he looks really cool otherwise.
So how they described him real quick was like Punisher type character.
Yeah. He was raw. I knew that.
He would send the people, like mob bosses, pictures of themselves with a red X over their face, and that meant he was going to come see you. The guy was. This is the only story I'm going to tell. It cracked me up. The guy that like he thought killed his family or like did something personal to X. He was in a safe room that was just like a. You remember the vault in Batman Forever or whatever, or Batman and Robin? They pull out. It's like that. He's like in a safe room like that. So like a cube of solid steel locked up. And X has got just a crowbar. And he's trying to get in. The guy's like, you're an idiot. Like, this is, I spent $200 million on this thing. Yeah. And then, like, acid comes down and splashes on him. He just X gets up every single time. He's tough, but he's not, like, a super person.
Right.
He's hurting this entire... He's like Wolverine. He's real tough, but he feels it all.
Yeah.
So he gets burned with acid. He gets electrocuted. And this whole time, the guy inside is talking shit.
Yeah.
And X doesn't say a fucking word this entire time. And then he gets up on the hinges up near where the acid was coming out, and they got covered in acid. So he was able to bust a hole through, and he goes, no! The guy inside's like, no! And he just pops in. They don't show what he does, but he comes out, and then like the next comic, an old man comes to that warehouse and he finds like 60 dead henchmen and then the dead guy in the safe or whatever. And that's like the second issue or something. It was cool.
Well, hopefully when we get X, we'll just one of us will cover that one. Because I've almost done it for my X.
So it was long. It started, the first one was in
I do remember that.
1994. And the one that I was reading was actually one of the newer ones, the first reboot from 2013.
Yeah, because we found them like pretty early. We were like, who the hell is this?
Yeah. So
what did you actually read?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So my actual comic is Zen, but it's not just called Zen. The whole full name of this comic is Zen Intergalactic Ninja.
ZYN?
Yep. Z-E-N. Not Zen's like the tobacco dip.
I thought it might like ZYN.
Yeah, it's a dude who gets superpowers from putting dip. No, Zen, Z-E-N, Intergalactic Ninja. So the cover is goddamn despicable. If I was in a comic book shop and I saw this cover, I'd be like, this is one of those.
Hold up.
Yeah, come look. This is one of those fill-in covers that a little kid, it was blank, and then a little kid drew it.
They had a contest.
It looks like a giant butt plug. He's holding a giant. Never mind. Okay, so I saw this and I was like, "What the fuck?" The name got me, and then I saw the cover and I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is this?" Mm-hmm. So then I saw it was only 4 issues, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna read this."
I gotta know what happens here.
So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. The entire point of this comic book is to tell little kids that polluting is bad and cutting down forests is bad and basically being a dick to this earth is bad. Which is not
I don't know if I like that.
It's not a bad point to make, and I will say if I hadn't read everything around it, it wouldn't have been so obvious to me because he only mentions it once at the end, basically.
Okay.
And so when I was reading the intros and like doing a little bit of research, he talks a lot more about how the point is to get kids on. So like in my head, it was like way more than it really is. It's not heavy-handed. It's really not. So the art in this is done by 4 issues is done by 3 different people. Dan Cote, Paul Peltier, and Ed Grat. What
was the first guy's name?
Dan Cote. It's got an accent mark over the E.
I swear I've heard that name before.
Probably not. He's an awful artist.
I swear I've heard that name.
Dude, he's terrible. He's the worst.
Okay.
So this was the first
Probably
issue. The first issue was released in 1987.
Sorry, Dan.
So the version that I have is an updated and improved version that came out in 1989.
Oh, wow.
So the terrible shit that I'm looking at is the better
It's been
version.
fixed.
It's the fixed version. So like I said, Dan Cote, Paul Peltier, and Ed Grat. And then Steven Stern.
He's got 4 grats.
Yeah, you have to spell them all out.
You got to say them all.
But the writer through the whole thing is Steven Stern.
Mm-hmm.
So the company is just called Zen Comics Publishing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Zen Comics Publishing. So it feels like they made this company to put this one comic out.
Sounds like.
Yeah. Like I said, the art.
They might have more stuff.
The art. Oh, I didn't check. They might, but whenever I searched this, nothing else came up.
Oh, man.
So I don't know if they do.
Yeah. And you're here to rip on.
Yeah, and it's so ugly, bro. Like, you know how I hated on Cold Space a little bit?
Yeah.
Cold Space is a goddamn Van Gogh.
That won your worst art
yes.
award, I think.
Here, come here. This is the first opening page. Come look at this. He's going to have to walk around, so he's going to be quiet. So this is what they're trying to catch you with. This is their good drawing. This is the updated version.
Yeah, that's not.
Bro.
Scroll down a little more.
It's all black and gray, black and white with shades of gray, which can be done fine. I've seen beautiful comics that are just
I've done a
straight
bunch
black
of
and
them.
white. It's not
I've
a
done a
big deal.
rack of them.
All right, so we're gonna jump into it. Our main character is obviously named Zen. He is a intergalactic ninja, more like a bounty hunter.
That's from the title.
Yeah. So there's 2 main characters. There's Zen, and then the kid he has a psychic link with. I don't remember his name. When we come to him, I'll tell you. But those are like the only main characters, and it still just looks like they only had to draw a couple different characters. This is my point.
Yeah.
And it still looks terrible. Whatever. But the
right.
story was fun. So we start with an intergalactic mercenary. He's like 300 years old, 400 years old.
Okay.
He's a little blue guy who looks kind of like a regular gray alien would, with a, not as big of a head as you
Yeah, I
would
saw
normally
that.
see.
They were a little smaller.
Closer to a human head. So he's like, I'm out on a mission. I got to go to this planet and do the thing I've been doing for 3. He's just doing exposition. So it shows his
Talking to us.
Yeah. He shows his ship, which kind of looks like a giant mosquito. And then his exploratory globe, which he uses to take down to planets, is just a white globe. It's cool. So the mosquito looks all right, but the thing he uses to travel down to the planet, I think it's just a ball. But it does look cool.
All right, yeah.
So he goes, he flies down to this planet. It's obviously not Earth. It's a swamp planet. He's bitching and complaining about
Florida. Planet Florida.
I think Florida's worse than this planet.
It might be.
Because there's only like 6 different kind of things that'll kill you here.
Oh, yeah, Florida's
got way more
pump
than
them,
that.
that
Pump
number.
the numbers up.
Yeah.
So he's looking for a princess who has a like sapphire ruby stuck in her head. He's supposed to get the ruby. Yeah, no.
Okay.
So like I would say this is directed towards younger audience for
Okay.
sure. The way he writes in the intro and stuff, it feels like he's trying to talk to like a younger group of people.
Okay.
So the fact that the
your
story,
second kids comic.
yeah. So the fact that the story is super simple isn't a problem. I
Right.
would say
Okay.
that.
Right.
It actually works for kids. So he gets down to the planet. It's like Dagobah. He literally like lands on Dagobah, and then some like monsters pop up. I gotta fight these monsters, and there's a quick fight scene. The monsters do actually kind of look cool. He beats the monsters, and he keeps traveling, and he's getting close to where he needs to go. He gets jacked up by vines. They like wrap around his arms, kind of like Evil Dead style.
Yeah.
And they hold him, and then a bunch of actually badass monster looking dudes pop up out of the swamp. They got like actual weapons this time. Those other things were just monsters. These are like just monstrous men or monstrous
The humanoid.
Yeah, exactly. So he's being held hostage, and then the Queen Azunta, on her forehead, the Jewel of Forgetfulness. So like,
Oh, that's that shit I gotta steal.
yeah, that's so like
Out of
Queen
her
Azunta,
head.
and she in the middle of her forehead she has the Jewel of Forgetfulness.
It's gross. Would it bother me?
Oh, it's disgusting.
It
Oh,
would-
if this dude could draw, then yeah, you would be bothered. But it's a simple triangle or diamond shape on her head that sparkles. So no, it doesn't
Okay.
look gross.
Okay. Sorry, I have a thing. Stuff like
I know.
that.
They don't know.
Yeah.
She pops up and he's like trying to talk to her. They don't speak the same language, which I like. I like that they don't all speak.
Cool. Yeah.
That was cool. So he's just kind of chilling, and then one of her guards comes at him and is about to like chop him up, and he moves and has the guard chop his restraints up.
Nice.
He gets out and he kills a couple guards, and then he like rushes. Oh, he murks the guards, but yeah, I forgot. He like whoops all of them. So he finally whoops all of them. And then he gets to the princess or queen or whatever, queen, and she's in a bubble, like a protective shield bubble. He uses his stupid, what does he call it? Something rod, bro. He says it later, like photon rod or something like that.
Okay.
Super terrible.
The dick sword.
Yeah, exactly. So he uses that to break her force field and like just
penetrates her force field.
Yeah, and snatches the ruby out of her head or whatever.
Gross.
And he talks about how he had to kill her to do that. So he actually kind of felt bad about it, is what he was saying. He said he normally doesn't feel bad about anything. He's literally a mercenary.
Right.
So he normally doesn't feel bad about shit. He gets away. He gets off the planet, and that's the end of the first issue.
Okay.
So, actually, I missed a part. He accidentally puts the jewel of forgetfulness in his head. He didn't do it on purpose. It kind of like made him. So like it forced him into it, and then it went into his head, and then he forgot because that's literally the jewel of forgetfulness.
It's its job.
Yeah. So so I read that one. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I looked at the second cover and I go, God damn it. And then I went down to the beginning, and the first like 5 pages is the worst drawn little boy you've ever seen in your entire life. His hands look like he's wearing gloves at all times and that they don't move.
Doesn't have finger lines.
No, it's bad, bro. It's so bad. So this is just a nerd kid. I'm gonna go quickly now because like the rest of the story doesn't need to be in detail. He's like a nerd kid. He doesn't have many friends. He has one friend, and the one friend he has, everybody calls retarded. He's not. He's just a normal kid, and just hating on him.
And we both had comics.
Yeah, that's why I almost didn't say it. I was like, because one at a time, that's not a big deal.
No,
but a bunch in a row.
That's weird.
Yeah, but no, I didn't want to censor myself because that's what they kept saying.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's
I
the
didn't
exact.
either.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact words they were using. But Jeremy. Sorry, I had to get his name.
It's a cool alien name.
Jeremy. No, that's a little kid.
Oh, okay. It's a
Zen
regular
is
person.
Zen. Yeah, so that's what I meant. Yeah, so we went from alien outer space adventures straight to a Earth boy, just living a normal life for the first like 5 pages, bro.
Named Jeremy.
Yeah, named Jeremy. He watches cartoons. Oh, so the first cool thing is while he's watching cartoons, Mighty Mouse specifically.
Oh, hell yeah.
He sees Zen on the TV in like a battle, like a space battle. He's
With
like,
Mighty
what?
Mouse?
No, just other regular aliens.
Okay.
The actual aliens that he deals with. He's in his giant mosquito ship or whatever Zen is, and he's fighting off a bunch of just, I don't know, other aliens. And he gets shot. His regular ship gets shot near planet Earth, obviously. But at this point, they already have the mental connection. This is Jeremy and Zen are mentally connected from now on. We find out at the end why, and I am going to save that.
Okay.
So
I remember you saying he was connected to a little boy.
Yeah. So this whole time he's getting ready to go like play baseball with his friends, and like he hears Zen in his head a couple times, and he doesn't know what it is. And then they have a bunch of pages of him playing baseball, and then the ball gets hit into the woods, and Zen picks it up, and he goes, "Hey, Jeremy, you looking for this?" And Jeremy's like, "Oh my God, it's an alien! Oh my God!" And he's like, "Well, you know me, I'm Zen." Blah blah blah. So it's almost like E.T. almost like they meet, and it's like friendly from the beginning.
Oh right.
He sees this like blue space ninja or
Is
whatever
he
the
little?
fuck yeah, he's as small as Jeremy is.
Oh.
Jeremy's supposed to be like, I don't know, 10.
Okay, yeah, so not a big alien.
No, he's small.
Sound like I piece it up.
So, like I said, there's literally page after page of them playing baseball. It's so boring.
Together?
Yeah. No, just the human Jeremy and his friends.
And he's just watching them?
Yeah, from the woods. It's stupid. And then he walks home with his friend that everybody was making fun of. He's really nice to him. He's like saying nice things to him, and the kid that everybody calls retarded or whatever. And whenever he's walking away, he goes, I meant it. I'm not trying to make him feel better. I'm glad he's my friend, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, that's actually really sweet.
That's cool.
I'm glad, damn it. I'm glad they like did that, because it might seem like he was just trying to be nice to him or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, especially for little kids to see.
He's a good, yeah, right.
Oh, like, cool.
I keep forgetting it's a kid's comic.
It is. It's 100% kids comic. And then on his way home, he gets starts getting beat up by his bully. They play on the same baseball team, and his bully just beats him up. He's like a foot taller than him. His bully's beating him up, and then Zen pops out of nowhere and just kicks the shit out of his bully. Like, really whoops him pretty bad.
Nice.
Well, they're walking away, and Zen goes, do you think I was too rough on him? He goes, nah. And it shows him he's like on the ground, like holding his head, bleeding. So I was like, damn, okay. He wants to make it very clear, do not be a bully.
Don't
so I was
mess
like,
with
fuck
Jeremy.
yeah. Fuck yeah, good lesson.
That's funny. That's awesome.
So at this point when they're walking, Jeremy and Zen are walking home. Zen tells him like his story, what he can remember of the gym and what he's done since then. He explains that they're connected. He calls him a star child. This is the only thing. He goes, you're the star child. And Jeremy's like, what? What is that? And then he's like, no, you know. And he's like, no, I have no idea. So, like, they just kind of hang out. It's like a buddy friend thing. They're, like, just hanging out in his room, discussing life, like, just chilling, you know, whatever. And that concludes the issue 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So the last 2 are where everything happens, basically.
Damn, all right. They don't seem long either.
No, it's so quick. There's barely
kids
any.
comic. Shit.
Yeah, it's barely any dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the few parts where Zen is thinking about. He's reading a magazine that says, "Can man survive?" And then he goes, "Global warming, acid rain, holes in the ozone." And this is one of the only times. This and I think at the very end, so maybe 2 times, where they bring up us messing up the planet.
Okay.
And at the end, they also talk about it for a second.
They bring it up.
Yeah, just for a second. But it's 1 page. It's not even a whole page. It's 1 panel of 1 page. So good for him. Because
cool,
people are usually heavy-handed when they're trying to write to children.
That's true. They are.
So this is drawn by a completely different person. Looks completely different. I would say is definitely an improvement.
Oh, yeah. You said it was 3 artists?
Over 4 issues.
Mm-hmm.
But still not good.
Still not. Is it all still black and gray?
It looks bad. And then we finally start getting a little bit of Jeremy's story.
Okay.
So there were like gods before this planet.
Oh shit, Star Child.
Like star gods, basically, kind of like Thor was almost.
Right. Okay.
And they mated with a few humans.
Hot.
And Jeremy is the offspring long down the line of one of those people.
Oh, he's a descendant of one of them?
Yeah. And so like we learned that with these like, you know, the Watchers from the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
From on Oa or whatever. They've been there since before time, blah, blah, blah. And they just...
The Guardians?
Oh, no, not the Watchers.
It's the Guardians.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, what are they called? Because the Watchers are the big-headed fucker. No, it is them.
The Watchers are from Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Green
right.
Lantern.
Yeah, you're right. What are those guys called?
Those are like the...
Tribunal or some shit? No, that's
Yeah.
Marvel too. Oh, well.
Who are you talking about? I think they're the Guardians.
It's the creators of the Green Lantern rings.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
who I'm talking about.
Those guys.
Yeah. So, like, we learn all this info. Zen and Jeremy travel to another planet in the ball, and these weird guardian type guys give him the whole backstory of everything. Zen didn't know the actual backstory. He was just calling him Star Child just cuz. I don't know.
Oh, about the gods and the
Yeah,
descendants.
this is what we learn. And while they're they're leaving that planet. There's a fight scene that's just random. It's put in there so kids won't get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of dumb.
You kick some ass.
Yeah. Oh, he constantly whoops ass. Like Zen's like really good at fighting for sure.
Cool.
And damn, that's issue 3. So the funny part is, I'll say it now. When I got to the end of this issue 4, I was like, cool, let's see the next one. And then there is no next one. You'll see why. It's so weird. So we learned that there's a big bad that the Guardians want Jeremy and Zen to like fight against or whatever. They just have a bunch of... This is another artist, by the way. This is the third artist. Yeah, they have a bunch of random fight scenes where like one alien betrays another alien, but they look the same, so you can't really tell why one's betraying the other one. And Zen's like, "Oh, this guy is my friend," and we're like, "What?" Like, how the fuck does that work? But oh man. So when they were on that planet with the no, they're fighting the big bad guy now. I'm sorry, we're on the next issue. They run on into the same. They end up on the same planet as the bad guy. Okay. The big bad who's everybody's worried about. And he ends up being...
Have they mentioned him?
They just learned about him from the Guardians.
So they had mentioned him just last issue.
No, they just mentioned him. So Zen didn't remember because of the thing, and Jeremy just didn't know. So we're like thinking that this bad guy is like the really bad guy, but I think he's the one that ends up explaining it. He gives them the truth about it because the Guardians only told him so much. And he talks about he has to... Yeah, I'm so sorry. I missed the whole part. The bad guy needs to absorb planets for his life force. So he seems very nice for, like I said, for a minute, and you're like, oh, he's the bad guy? He seems kind of normal or whatever. And then in this issue, we figure out why he's the bad guy. He's consuming planets to live longer. That's how he's been around for so long. Okay. So Jer and Zen are supposed to be the ones to take him down. Jeremy's the star child, whatever. So they end up on another alien planet with the big bad has Jeremy captured, and he's saying, "You're the star child. You're the chosen one. If you help me, we can conquer Earth. And I will consume Earth, and so will you, and we will live forever," or whatever. And then Jeremy goes, "I can feel his thoughts inside of me." And he goes, "He's right. I am the star child." He already knew that. Yeah, they said that way before. Yeah. And then it says, "To be continued," directly after saying, "I am the star child. To be continued." And I go, "Oh, cool." And I kept scrolling. And I was like, where's the 5th one? And so then I Googled it a bunch of times because I didn't believe it. I was like, no, there's got to be no, there's not. They do a reboot eventually. I forgot to write it down. Oh, 1993. Oh, no. 1993 was, they made a Game Boy game of this.
Yo, yeah?
Yeah.
Of Game Boy game?
Yeah, for real. And it kind of looks cool.
All right.
It genuinely
does the comic ever continue in the
reboot?
I
read the updated one or the reboot or whatever many years later. Nope.
It stops at the same place?
No, there's no... It starts up completely different. Zen and Jeremy are together in a completely different ship, flying around having different adventures.
Has nothing to do with this.
They don't think they finished it at all.
Oh, that sucks. Is that your first one?
That doesn't finish at all?
Yeah.
But they was supposed to not. Oh, they never continue. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to have done.
Whether it's issue 5 or another series, they never did.
Yeah.
There's no Zen blah, blah, blah.
Oh, and not that directly continues this story. There's a bunch of other Zen comics.
Oh, there
is? Yeah. All the way through the 90s and like all the way even up to like 2001.
So are these the first issues?
Yes, this is from...
Why they never
They published it in 87. The first version, when the single issues came out in 87. That's when I was published. Yeah. And then this version, the updated, improved version, came out in 89.
And never bothered to finish it.
No.
So it sucks.
Well,
doesn't
it continued. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, that's
if it didn't
super-
continue at all, then I'd be like, yeah, of course it didn't.
That's
finish
super
it.
weird, continuing and just leaving that hanging.
And I'll tell you this: as soon as the update started, all the art was actually good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
They dropped those 3 fucking losers from this.
bro, the dude couldn't draw hands.
Hey, man, it's better than we can do.
Well, it was. It's way better than I could
yeah.
do. For
I'm sure making a comic's hard.
And I think
Still no excuse to suck, guys.
Right. I think it goes without saying the faces were fucking god awful. I've definitely never said that before. Cold Space had way better faces.
Ooh,
than
that's
this.
bad.
They made me nauseous.
Oh, really?
I'm not when we're done right
Well,
in a
no,
second.
we've said before that like we take that pretty serious when
It's a huge thing for
Yeah,
me.
because it'll ruin a comic.
It can.
If I'm like, oh, this sounds awesome, I can't wait to read this, but it's difficult to look at.
Yeah.
And like art can be messy, scribbly, all that,
Yeah.
and it can be on
Yeah.
purpose or whatever. But like when their faces are, it's like I don't want to see these close-ups of these nasty faces,
Right.
these weird. It really does turn me off when
Yeah.
they.
I don't.
So I guess that was our segment. How are the faces?
Yeah, and then I guess to do a quick wrap up, like I said, I read a couple issues of the updated one. It seemed kind of cool, actually.
Yeah?
Definitely better than this. I'm giving them a real tough time. They wrote something I couldn't ever write. They drew some shit I could
Yeah,
never write.
but still finish your shit.
Yeah.
So that bad guy didn't pop up.
No,
in the other
I
ones?
didn't get far. I only got 2 issues into the updated
okay.
one.
That's so
I would
weird.
not be surprised if he did, because when you do an updated one, you still got to do like an intro.
Yeah, dude, that'd be so weird. That's like Judd Glennie got a volume 2 that has nothing to do with the first
Right.
4 or 5 issues. Like, what's the point of that? That's so never come across a comic that stops then continues, but chooses not to continue the story that you already fucking told.
weird.
Like maybe some IDW Ninja Turtles stuff when they
Yeah,
switch
it
back
definitely
and
has
forth.
happened. We just can't think of it.
You ready to do this?
Matt versus Adam.
Yeah, this is Matt vs. Adam. We take a random character generator online. We see who would win in a fight between who I get and who he gets. We got Marvel, DC, video game, and cartoon characters. We're doing Marvel, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
found
been
a
a
new
minute.
Marvel filter with a bunch more characters.
Nice.
Oh, who the fuck is that? God damn it.
You
I
can't
got,
tell?
I got Old Man Hawkeye. Son of a bitch.
I
I'm fucking
thought
blind.
we were doing... Old Man Hawkeye. Okay.
Click it. Oh, you want me to just do
Yeah,
it
just
for
do
you?
it. Who'd I get, man? Who'd I get?
You got Thor.
Okay, let's break this one down.
It's even worse than last week, bro.
Let's break this one down. Old Man Hawkeye is blind.
I am blind. I have
He's
one
like
arm.
70.
Don't I have one arm?
No. Oh, maybe in the later ones, but in the Old Man Logan storyline, you have both your arms.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah. You do have your own series. Old Man Hawkeye has its own series.
I almost read it for our.
But no,
the-
you're just blind, and you needed Wolverine for his eyes, so he could help you.
Yeah,
try.
I'm a blind.
And so he
freaking-
takes out some people.
Yeah, no, he's capable for sure.
So he's kind of like Daredevil at this point. Is the best way I would explain him. Old Man Hawkeye.
yeah.
He's like a bitch ass Daredevil.
Yeah, he doesn't even have any powers. Let me just.
No.
I can't win. I might have an arrow to fuck with you, like to bother
Not
you.
Old Man Hawkeye. He didn't have shit, bro. I remember.
That's even worse than I would
Modern
I would have a
Hawkeye.
better chance as Hawkeye.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm old and blind.
Yeah.
And I got to fight a god.
Yeah.
You know what? If I was writing the comic, I could figure it out.
Of course.
You'd probably have some
I've
weird
I've
arrow.
read worse fucking matchups than that they decided. That's for
Yeah.
damn sure.
Squirrel Girl versus Thanos.
Yeah, obviously Skull was going to win.
Obviously.
Let me part my
So,
goatee.
yeah, I don't have any chance.
No, I
This
fucking
might be worse
destroyed you.
than
It
last
is
week.
worse.
Because I have no chance.
No.
Like I said, I might have 1 or 2
Yeah,
arrows
yeah.
that would bother you,
Yeah, it's
inconvenience
possible.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Slow me down so
And-
you could run away. Something
Dude,
like that.
And
Yeah.
Thor now, or Thor in the last 5 years, is
Thor
like
with the Odin.
it's the Thor Force,
Thor
Odin
Force.
Force, the Allfather, basically.
Yeah.
He has the power cosmic,
Yeah.
which is Galactus, Silver Surfer shit, and then he had the Necro Sword.
Yeah.
He was like, he would spank Thanos
That's how he
at
killed.
that
That's
point.
how he killed Galactus was with the Necro Sword.
Yeah, he as an old
Everybody
man.
was dead. He was the last person
As
on
an
Earth.
old man, he fucking wrecked Galactus.
Yeah, he did.
Enough to make him leave. He was like,
Yeah,
you know what?
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving. And he's like, yeah, back the fuck.
Yeah.
So regular Thor, yeah, I have no chance, man. Even
No.
like you said, young, modern Hawkeye, I could inconvenience you for a little
All
while.
right, you could get away.
But I could get away, but I'm not stopping. This
No,
is, again,
not in a million
this
years.
is like downtown Houston, 2 blocks of downtown Houston. We see each other and it's fight on sight. So
I could just go.
and you don't need to carry your hammer. You'll always can get it.
Yeah.
It's not like I can limit you for that. Even
I
if you didn't
have the
it,
hammer, it doesn't
you
matter.
left it on the restaurant table.
Yeah, no
I'm
biggie.
still not.
No biggie.
You get your fucking hands on me for 1 second, it's over. Son of a biscuit. All right, so that is 2017. It's starting to fucking fall away from me now.
Yeah, you know you'll catch up again.
Yeah, but I want to be in the lead for a little while at least. Make you catch up. 'Cause you haven't had to catch up since like the first 10
That's what I was about
episodes or
to
something.
say, yeah.
Then you ran away on like a long ass streak.
Yeah.
It's starting to happen again. Maybe it's my confidence. Maybe it's like the mood when I come in.
It's that you're not cheating. Whenever you get old man Hawkeye, push that shit again. Bro.
I thought about it. But oh, this shit's still running. Hold
I
up.
would push it 20 times till I got Galactus or whatever.
That's why I do it for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yo, that's why I don't hand him the phone.
He's like, what are you doing? It's messed up. I don't know what's wrong with
Well,
it.
like one day you were like, I was like, oh, I got this character. You're like, it says Samus.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, well, she's stronger. I didn't get her. And I was like, you're like, what happened? I'm like, I pushed it too many times.
Yeah.
And it just rolled. So like, I don't cheat. I straight
I
up, because
know.
it's not important. Who gives a
doesn't
shit?
matter.
But I'm just gonna. That's funny matchup too.
Yeah.
Old man Hawkeye getting
Yes,
his ass
amazing.
kicked by Thor.
I think he got beat up by his daughter or granddaughter, right?
Probably he's
It was
old
Spider-Man.
and blind.
Spider-Man was her dad. Spider-Man married Hawkeye's either ex-wife. No. Married his daughter. I don't remember. It was a crazy family.
Mix it up, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was crazy.
The Old Man series were actually really cool.
Oh, they're so good.
There's a when I got O the other week, I thought about it. I had it up as like a possible one to get.
Yeah.
Because there's Old Man Logan. There's multiple or 2 series of Old Man Logan,
Yeah.
Old Man Hawkeye, and there's Old Man Quill.
Yeah.
So there's a Star-Lord, an old Star-Lord.
And then there's a different named one for when the old man character comes to the main 616 universe.
Oh, yeah. He did cross over.
Mhm. When regular Wolverine was dead and the 616 encased in adamantium or whatever.
Right.
He came over and then they, what's her name? X-23 became Wolverine or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
And then her sidekick was like Honey Badger or whatever.
Is Dakin still around? His son? You know,
I
he's
don't
got
think
like
they
3
don't
other
use
kids.
him. You said 3?
I know. Well, that I know. I know he's. Yeah, he got a lot.
Bro, he's 200 and whatever years old. He's been smashing
He
for
probably got a lot.
200 and whatever
Well,
years.
I know like prominent characters. There's like 2 or 3 other ones that I've never heard of.
Dude.
I was like, oh, there's some little blonde-haired kid that's Wolverine's son running around. I
yeah,
didn't know
James.
that. James?
Yeah.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's his mom?
I think he comes from an alternate universe though, not 616.
Oh,
I think he
yeah. They
came
didn't
over.
specify if it
I
was
think
all
he came
616.
So if you're talking about 616, yeah, I think he has like 7 or 8. But if you're talking extended all the universes,
Probably a rack of them.
bro, I watched
dozens.
an hour and a half long video on what's that one we watched that they keep go 1 through 10 and then they go through another 1 through 10.
Oh yeah, Marvelous something,
It's
right?
something I don't know, but I
Marvelous
watched one of
Marvel
those
or-
where they named every single kid of Wolverine. It was an hour and a half long.
Holy shit, dude,
Yeah.
been smashing. He couldn't pull out his driveway. All right.
It's that adamantium bone.
Always hard. Never bends. Is there a bone in there? All right, so we are on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is Flipping Pages 24. Facebook is Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. New episodes release every Monday on all podcast platforms and YouTube. The best way to help us out, want to support the show, is rate, review, like, subscribe, all that all that internet stuff,
You
all the
know.
buttons. You know the buttons. If you want to hit the buttons, it would help us out a lot. So we appreciate it. And if you're just listening and have not hit those buttons, we also appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
So thank you. And that's the episode for this week. Oh, we got a new show coming out. It's called Flipping Scripts, where me and Adam go around Houston and steal people's super fancy jewelry to show how dumb it is to spend your money on all that.
Yep.
I'm going to do this till you're like mad at me for this
Tuesdays
joke.
and Thursdays.
You're gonna be-
flipping scripts.
You're going to be mad at me for this joke when I'm done.
Well, like I said the first time, I thought you were gonna go somewhere with this shit.
As soon as I started saying it, I saw you shake your head. You're like, all right, yep. I was going to do it till you're actually mad about it. So, all right, well, that's the episode. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.